Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Johnny Dunn. I'll be playing as Moldy Potion here in our NomNom Verse TCRPG tutorial. And I'll be playing here with my playtester, Noah.
Hi, everybody.
Noah's been doing a great job helping us kind of tie these card mechanics down, make sure everything stays balanced. And I'll also have our camera lady here, Tessa, joining us.
Hi.
Hey, Tessa. All right, so in the video, I'm going to be breaking down how the game of NomNom Verse works. It is a blend of TCG and RPG mechanics, and what you see in front of you right now is the game board. The game board of NomNom Verse is set up in a way that most of the movement is going to be happening here in the lanes in the center of the board. The center lane is the sectors. These will be the rooms of the dungeon, and then along the sides here, you'll see us moving our pieces, which represent our party members, which will be sitting over here as cards, their items that are equipped, which will also be over here to the side of them. And then on this side, we'll have our Nomsters, and you'll kind of see how this all works as we set up the board. But what I want to start with doing is just talking about how we actually read the cards of NomNom Verse. So we're going to talk about Ralph here for a second. Ralph is one of the main characters of NomNom Verse. He's a kaiju hunter by trade. There are kaiju and dinosaurs pretty commonly showing up in Mount City, so they need people to handle that. Ralph, the way that you read these cards is you're going to be looking at mostly the calling cost is one of the most important parts. The two green pips in the upper left of the Ralph card are telling you how much it costs to bring Ralph into play. That green resource is called XP, or experience points, and it's generated by party members each time they rest. XP does not drain at the end of the turn. You keep it perpetually through turns and you spend it as needed, but you can't have more than 5 XP stored at a time. So Ralph would cost 2 XP to bring into play. And then if you look down below that, you'll see a yellow symbol there. That's Ralph's synergy. It is a type of elemental energy that is found in different areas of NomNom, and you'll see that the sectors each have their own synergy. So if Ralph is in a sector that he synergizes with, he may get certain bonuses within that sector. Going down below to the lower text box, you'll see that there's blue pips on the lower left side of the Ralph card. Those are his AP, or his action points. That's how many actions Ralph can take in a turn. Actions can be movement, attacks, or activating certain abilities. And you'll see Ralph's stats below the action points. The first stat there with the foot next to it is his move. So for each action point, Ralph could move 3 spaces. For each action point as well, he could attack for 2 damage, which is his power right below that with the fist. And then below the fist, there's a little backpack. That's Ralph's utility, which is pretty crucial in this game. That tells you how many items Ralph can have equipped at a time and how many he can have in his pack. So with a utility of 2, Ralph could have 2 items equipped and 2 items packed, which will be face down underneath him. You'll see how that works. Okay, so he also has a heart stat, which is essentially his life points, and that's over on the lower right side of the card. Ralph has 8 hearts, which is a pretty decent number, and he also has some effects underneath there. Champions in NomNom Verse, which are typically your party members, usually have level up abilities. You can level up champions by paying their XP cost an additional time. So each time that Ralph levels up there, you'll see that a new ability triggers. And I'm sure those will be happening in game, so I'm not going to go over them right now. But up in the upper right of Ralph is the last thing I'm going to cover. That is his genetics. And Ralph's genetics are symbols that represent abilities that Ralph has all the time. The first genetic there is his hunter genetic, which is going to give him an extra XP whenever he KOs an enemy. And his second one there with the swoosh is his quick reflexes. That's an awesome genetic because it lets Ralph counterattack whenever he is attacked. And the third one there is reach, which allows Ralph to attack flying Nomsters. Pretty cool card. He's got some amazing abilities at low cost, but that is how you read the card of NomNom Verse. There's a lot going on, but once you get a feel for it, it's pretty intuitive. All right, the next card I'm going to talk about here before we get started is a sector card. These are the rooms of the dungeon. What we're looking at right now is called Lightning Jaw Chasm. This has a mountain synergy type, and the region it's found in is called the Spine. The way that sectors work is that you'll look along the left and right side of the sector. You'll see the spaces in that sector. So Lightning Jaw Chasm has 3 spaces that need to be traversed in order to get to the other side. It's not 6 spaces, you'll see, it's just 3 on each side. The regional effect of Lightning Jaw Chasm is an effect that activates whenever a local is in there, and it's going to affect all locals. It's -1 power on non-mountain locals. So if you're not mountain type, your power gets lowered while you're in Lightning Jaw Chasm. There's also an attack effect, which says you can roll a d6, and an attack effect will trigger whenever an attack is declared within that sector. You'll roll a d6, and if it's a 1, you KO the attacking card, which can be quite a bummer. We've had that happen. And if you roll a 6, you KO the attack target automatically. That happens before combat even occurs. That's because you're kind of fighting on top of a chasm there. You can see you're up on top of a cliff, and occasionally people fall off of cliffs. Okay, so that's a breakdown of the sector cards. Now we're going to start to set up the board. And by the way, what we're playing on right now, guys, is a free mod that you can get on the TTS workshop. If you know what TTS is, it's called Tabletop Simulator, and it's on Steam. It's usually about a $20 program, but there's a lot of games that you can play for free on there once you get Tabletop Simulator. So if you have Tabletop Simulator, you can get the NomNom Verse demo mod, and you can play with these pre-constructed decks here. These are beta decks, so not all the art is finalized, but the effects will give you an idea of how the game works. And these are the decks that we're actually going to be playing with today. So the way that you set up the NomNom board is you're going to bring your sectors over, and you randomize sectors before each game. So Noah and I are each going to shuffle our sectors, and then we're going to lay them out here to construct our dungeon. The dungeon is comprised of 10 sectors total, and you're going to start your party members moving at the entrance down here in the lower left, and you're going to move those party members all the way up along this lane until you get to the opposing boss. Similarly, Noah is going to be moving his party members along his left side lane, which comes down to my right side lane, and my boss will be waiting right there. Grab my boss, drop it in. Okay, so that's why each side of the sector has spaces on it, because I'm going to be moving down the left side spaces. Noah's going to be moving down the right side spaces of the sectors, if you want to think of it that way. All right, now we're going to roll to see who goes first. And I'm just going to grab a dice here, if it'll let me. There we go. Great. Perfect.
Big roll. Big roll.
Big roll.
Just enough.
Oh, you beat me. Just by 1, though.
I would like to go first.
So you get to go first. So how you start the game is each explorer, that's what we call players in NomNom Verse, is going to shuffle up and draw 8 cards. Normally in TCGs, you'll see that 7 is common, but we're drawing 8 because each of us is going to get to place a champion or a pathfinder into play for free to start off our party. Your first party member is free. You don't have to pay for them. So Noah, you rolled, so you get to choose your party member first.
I will choose Chicken.
Okay, nice. Chickenhead is a pretty cool champion. He is a chef who has some healing abilities. Chefs in NomNom are typically healers. So that's also going to help Noah because he's got a 3 cost. So he's getting out a nice fat champion here to start the game, which I think is wise since you're getting them for free. Similarly, I'm going to play Zoe, who is a 3 cost. She's going to come out. Both champions come out resting until it is your turn. They'll wake up. Since we're both keeping our hands, I think we can reveal the game board, man.
Let's do it.
Okay, sweet. And let's get these locked just so we don't do anything silly later. All right, so we've each got our starting party member, and we've got our bosses and our sectors in place. We're ready to get the game going. So the player who goes first does not draw to start their turn, but other than that, every turn will start with you drawing a card and awakening all of your resting cards. All right, Noah, you want to take it away?
I would love to. To start my turn, I'm going to use this beautifully developed UI over here and tap this Wake All button to wake my rested party member up. And to start with my actions, I don't have any XP yet, so I am just going to start moving Chicken Head. He's got a move of 2 and 3 AP, so I will go move 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2, all the way up here into Dino Mart. And let's go ahead and rest Chicken Head and generate that 3 XP.
Very nice.
I'll keep back over here on this little counter. And with that 3 XP, let's go ahead and drop a Saber Griff into play.
Very nice. So what Noah's doing right now, guys, is what I mentioned earlier. Whenever you rest your party, you're going to get XP equal to their calling cost. That's one of the ways that you generate resource in this game. There aren't actually resource cards in NomNom. All the resource is kind of passive. It's either generated or stored in different ways. So Chicken Head is going to generate the 3, and then like Noah said, he was going to bring out another party member, Saber Griff, who costs 2. Now Saber Griff, you'll notice, has a yellow calling cost. That means a Saber Griff is a Pathfinder and can be played either as a Nomster or as a champion. Since Noah chose to play it as a champion, it's going to operate in the party just like a champion would, and it's going to generate XP as well when it rests. Also, there's no summoning sickness in NomNom Verse. You can use cards as soon as you bring them into play. So why don't you take it away, Noah?
And Saber Griff has a move of 3 and 2 AP, so he will land right alongside Chicken Head. And
very nice.
He will rest. Let's see. That is all I'm going to do with my party phase. So I'm all done with my party members. I'm not going to take any more actions. I'm going to move on to my Nomster phase.
Okay, sounds good. And the turn is split up into 2 phases, like Noah just mentioned. So you're going to start with your party members, and once you start using a party member, you have to finish all of the AP or choose to rest that party member. You don't have to use all the AP if you just want to rest them, but get that XP, use it if you'd like, and then when you're finished with your party members and they're all resting, you'll move on to your Nomster phase. And the Nomster phase, before we get started here, operates a little bit differently. Whereas party members, the first one is free, and then they generate XP as they go. Nomsters actually require you to infuse them with energy. You imbue them with DP or dungeon points, and they're going to hold those dungeon points as long as they're in play. You'll see over here that we have a red scale of points, and this red scale is how many dungeon points we're allowed to have in play at one time between our Nomsters. So we've each got 5 right now. There are some effects to unlock additional dungeon points, but for now, we're going to be capped at 5, similar to the XP, meaning that if Noah wants to bring a Nomster into play, he's going to have to imbue that Nomster with a certain amount of DP, which will take up some of his scale here. You can't go over the scale, and you can only play 1 Nomster per turn this way. There are some effects that can get around the 1 Nomster per turn that we might see in his Dino deck, but for now, he's supposed to just be playing 1, unless he's got a Bugadon. What do you got, Noah?
Well, I may have a Bugadon, but I will not show it to you. I am going to play a Voltaraptor.
Very nice.
And my Voltaraptor is going to come into the dungeon way, way up here in the Dockside Kraken.
Okay, cool. Now, the Dockside Kraken, you'll notice, is a sector that only has 1 space on it. It's a water sector, which means that it lowers the move of the local resident in it by 2, unless it's actually to a minimum of 1. So it can't take your move to 0, but it can lower it down to 1. And you can only avoid that effect if you're a water type Nomster or champion. So the Voltaraptor's move is going to be down at 1 while he is in Dockside Kraken. But the Dockside Kraken also 2x's healing effects on food, so there are some benefits to being in there. It's a local restaurant.
So because my Voltaraptor came in play, he does not have any sort of summoning sickness. I'm going to get right to moving. Unfortunately, when he leaves the Dockside Kraken, he's going to go right into the Dark and Deep. So his move is going to be 1, and the Dark and Deep is also a water sector, so his move is still 1. I will move him 1 more. And that is all I can do with my Bolt Raptor, so I will rest him. And after that, I have no more actions, so I will pass turn.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to draw since it's not the first turn, and I'll wake Zoe up, and let's get cooking here. To get started, I'm going to have to generate some XP, so the best thing to do is just to get your party moving. Now, Zoe has 3 AP, 3 of those blue pips, and she has a move of 2. So similarly to Chickenhead, I can move her up to 6 spaces, and I'm going to go ahead and do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll get her up here into Hunger's Edge Lumber Mill, and she's just going to rest there. That'll generate 3 XP for me, and I'm immediately going to spend 2 of that XP to call Ralph into play. And Ralph is going to also start back here at the entrance. And the way we're tracking these dice, by the way, is green dice are party members, and you would just mark, since this is party slot 1 with Zoe in it, she is green dice number 1. Ralph is party slot 2, so he is green dice number 2. And Ralph can really move quite a bit, like we talked about earlier. He has 3 move and 3 AP, so he can move up to 9 spaces. I'm going to get Ralph right up ahead of Zoe in Hunger's Edge Lumber Mill. I'm not going to go all 9, but I'm going to take him up 8 spaces. And then I'm going to rest Ralph and get that 2 XP. And I've got a pretty nice starting hand here. So I'm going to spend that 2 and bring Vincent into play. You may notice some of the cards have kind of a slime green border on them. That, once again, this is a beta demo, so these are preliminary arts that we'll be updating after the Kickstarter. And Vincent is a pretty cool champion. He has the Siphon and the Toxic genetic, so he can, whenever he deals damage, he will heal a life point, and also whenever he is dealt damage, he will deal 1 damage to the opponent, kind of like a poisonous cloud. So Vincent those are called the Siphon and the Toxic genetic, by the way. Vincent also has 3 action points, and he has 2 move. So I'm going to bring Vincent in as party member number 3, and we're going to move him 6 spaces and get him right up here with Zoe, and he's going to rest. And I've got some XP here. I think I should probably use it on level ups. Let's level up Vincent. Let me just get a dice here for the level up. There we go. So Vincent's level 1, and Vincent's level 1 effect says draw 1. Simple as that. So once you level up a card, its effect is going to resolve immediately. I'm just going to draw 1. And that'll finish up my party phase. I'm going to move over into my Nomster phase, and all I've really got to start off here is a Traccoon. It's going to take up 1 dungeon point, and he's just a little guy. He's got 2 move, 1 power, and the 3rd stat on Nomsters you'll see is an XP symbol. That represents the XP prize. Whenever Nomsters are KO'd, the attacker who KO'd them gets the XP prize. So in this case, if you KO'd a Traccoon, you'll get 1 XP. Traccoon's got a pretty funny enter effect as well. Whenever he enters a sector, he'll deal 1 AoE damage to local enemies. He's not very strong, but he kind of pokes everybody. All right, I'm going to grab Traccoon, and Nomsters do not have to start at the entrance of your dungeon. Nomsters can start anywhere on your side of the dungeon, which is why his Voltiraptor was up here, dropping him in his sector and moving into mine. Similarly, I'm going to drop my Traccoon right here and just go moving into his sectors. Now, once again, this is a water sector, so it lowers my move. So Traccoon can only move 1 per action. So 1, 2, that's as far as we get with Traccoon. I'll rest Traccoon, and then I will pass turn back to you, Noah.
Let's draw for turn. It's not my first turn anymore, and that's a decent draw. Let's wake everybody up. To start out this turn, I think what I need to do is just go ahead and spend 2 XP to get a 3rd party member into play and maximize my XP potential.
Yeah, always a good idea to max out the party.
So let's go ahead and start moving Sabergriff. Sabergriff is going to go ahead and move 1, 2, 3, and he is in the same sector as Traccoon now. So
Yep.
he can go ahead and attack that Raccoon. Doesn't have to be in the same space, just has to be in the same sector.
That is correct.
Let's see.
What'd you deal into my Raccoon here? How much damage?
Oh, so I actually don't get my passive to a tank power buff because he is not forest or water.
Raccoon is city synergy.
Yeah, I mistook that. So I will just attack for 2.
All right. And we'll get a damage counter here on Raccoon. So he's got 2 life left.
Let's go ahead and rest Saber Griff because that is all of his actions. Generate 2 XP. I think with that 2 XP I just got, I'm going to spend on leveling up Amos.
Nice.
And Amos has a very similar effect to Vincent, and that lets me draw 1.
Oh, very nice.
Interesting. Okay, so I don't want to make another party action just yet. I want to play an event.
Okay.
And I am going to play Rampant Research.
Okay, so event cards are usually free to play cards that resolve immediately and head to discard, and usually they have some pretty powerful effects. So for instance, Rampant Research says on your turn, discard X cards, then draw X plus 1. So Noah's going to be able to kind of cycle through a bunch of cards right now if he decides he wants to do that.
It's not the best draw I've ever had, but it's going to be enough to get me through, I hope. So I'm just going to discard 2, and I will draw 3. And let's get these guys all gathered up and put in the discard. All right, so I like those cards. All right, cool. Let's go ahead. Let's see, Chicken Head here looks like he wants to move. So we got 3 AP and 2 move. We're going to go 1, 2, and then 1, 2, sure, right in the middle there. And Chicken Head is going to attack your Raccoon for 2.
All right, that's going to finish off my Raccoon, so you'll get that XP prize.
You got it. And that is all of Chicken Head's action. So Chicken Head will rest and generate me 3 XP.
Okay.
I'm maxed out on XP now, so I better start spending it. I see no better way to spend my XP right now than to spend 4. Let's go ahead and put a Dino Blood on Amos.
Oh, very nice. Dino Blood is definitely one of the best items you can equip. It's going to give you +2 hearts, +2 move, +2 power permanently.
With that, let's go ahead. So Amos now has 5 move, and Amos is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To be right up there with Chicken Head. We'll get this dice out of here.
Oh yeah, Raccoon's gone.
And that is going to rest Amos. We're going to generate 2. And let's go ahead and get wild here and just level up Amos a second time.
Nice. So that's going to give Amos an additional AP point. So he will now have 3 blue pips down there.
And that is all I got for my party phase. So I'm going to move on to my Nomster phase. And I am genuinely terrified of your lineup right here. So I think all I can do, let's see. Yep, that's what I'm going to do here. So I still have the reduced movement because I'm in the water sector. So I'm just going to move 1 and then 2 right on the edge of Lightning Jaw Chasm.
Oh, nice. You're getting into Lightning Jaw.
So that is all I can do with Voltaraptor. I'll rest him. And let's go ahead and get wild and see what we can do here. We're going to go ahead and drop a Dino Bug, a little Bugadon.
Very nice. Okay, so Bugadon he's only a 1-cost little Nomster, so he's only going to take up 1 additional DP over here on Noah's DP scale. But Bugadon has a call effect that says search and call a Bugadon from your deck. That is one of those ways to get around the 1 Nomster per turn. So right now, if Noah likes, he could chain call a bunch of Bugadons into play and fill up his dungeon points.
And I will do that. So I will search that one, which will also trigger search and call effects. So I will go ahead and grab another one.
Correct.
But after that one, I am all maxed out on dungeon points. So let's go ahead and mark that. There we go. Let's shuffle up the deck because I searched it. And now I need to put 3 more red dice into play.
Yes, you do.
So my Nomsters can't occupy the same space, so I'm going to have to spread these bad boys out and
That's
make a little
correct.
dino.
Party members are allowed to share the same space, but Nomsters are a little more feral. They cannot share space. Only one Nomster per space.
And let's go ahead and get tricky. Bugadon has an interesting genetic called digging.
Yes.
It basically just makes it completely evasive. It's underground. It can't be targeted. So I will dig with my Nomster number 2 slot, Bugadon, and he is in the water sector, so I will only move 1 space twice. And the Bugadon is digging, so we'll go 1, 2. Right there. Press that Bugadon. This next Bugadon will be digging, and I will also move 2. So, I guess I can go 1, 2, because I wasn't in the water sector. But I have to stop there anyway. So we will rest there. And let's go ahead and move this last one, who will also be digging, and go 1, 2, and stop it right there, rest, and I will pass turn to you.
Okay, sounds good. I'm going to draw to get my turn started and wake all my resting cards. Might as well get moving here with some party members. What do we got here? We got a raptor, 6 hearts hanging out in Lightning Jaw Chasm. Now, Lightning Jaw Chasm, like I mentioned, is a dangerous place to have combat in, because if you're local here, it's going to activate that attack effect, and there's a chance you might lose your attacker. But Zoe has the long range genetic in her upper right. That's the little targeting thing up in Zoe's genetic box. And that means that Zoe can attack the sector that is in front of or behind her. So let me get Zoe. I don't even have to move her, actually, since she's already in Lumber Mill. I can target into Lightning Jaw Chasm with her long range. Now, the Voltaraptor has 6 hearts. Yep, he has 6 hearts. Zoe has 1 power and 3 AP. All right, so I wouldn't be able to take that Voltaraptor out. But what we can do is try to soften him up here. So let's move Ralph in there. We'll go 1, 2, 3, and cross my fingers and hope that I don't die in the chasm. And Ralph. Oh, sorry, that was Zoe. Yeah, my bad. Ralph's going to move right up into here, and let's just hope for the best here. Ralph is going to attack on the Voltaraptor, so I'm going to roll for Lightning Jaw Chasm to see if any of us fall.
Ooh, one does fall.
Ralph is going to fall off the chasm. Oh, that was brutal. Oh, that was so brutal. All right,
I love watching Ralph, but I like watching him leave more.
Seeing that definitely scarred Vincent a little. So Vincent's just going to rest, and I need to get that XP because I need to play another Ralph. Get back out of here, buddy. You may not have more than one champion of the same name in play at once. That's actually on the cards. If you look on the card underneath where the name Ralph is, you'll see that there's a per deck. Ralph can have 3 per deck, but there's also a key next to that. And we will be changing that, making it a little more obvious in the new layout for Kickstarter. But the key means essentially that you can only have 1 of that card in play under your control at a time. So I'll bring a new Ralph out, and he's going to start back here at my entrance, and we'll just get him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll get him right up here, rest him, get some XP, and I'm going to pay 3 to level up Zoe to level 1, which is going to give her +1 power. Now I can fry that Voltaraptor from a distance. So I'm going to spend all 3 of Zoe's AP and deal 6 total damage to that Voltaraptor.
And my quick reflexes on my Voltaraptor doesn't trigger because you're using range.
Correct. Yep. Quick reflexes would normally let the Voltaraptor counterattack, but that's only with local attacks. So Zoe fried the Raptor. I got 1 XP prize for that. And then Zoe has to rest, which is going to give me 3 more XP. And I'm going to spend all 4, and I'm going to level up Ralph. I'm going to level up Ralph twice. Come on now, you can do it. Thanks. So Ralph's going to go to level 2, which means his level 1 effect is going to resolve, which lets me search out Ralph's arm, which is an equipment card that's going to attach to Ralph. And Ralph's arm is going to give Ralph +1 power while it's equipped. He's also going to gain +1 additional power versus Kaiju. So if he's in combat with the Kaiju, he'll be getting +2 total power from the arm. That's going to help us a little bit. And his second level up ability says that he's going to gain 4 hearts. So I'm going to now mark that Ralph has 12 total hearts. And that's all I got for my party phase. So I'll move over to my Nomster phase, and you totally fried my Traccoon. So I'll bring out a Canopy, who's going to take up 2 dungeon points while it's in play. And I'll drop Canopy. Let's grab a dice. Oh, is it going to do this to me every time?
I got you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, grab me a dice. And then Canopy is going to start at the edge of Dark and Deep and just kind of move into Kraken. And we'll rest Canopy there and then pass turn.
Yeah, let's go ahead and draw for turn.
Yep.
And wake everybody up. Okay, so now we have some moves we can make. Let's go ahead and start moving. We're going to do Saber Griff. Saber Griff is going to move up, and that little bonus I talked about on your Traccoon is actually going to work against your Canopy. So let's go ahead and see if we can do anything about that. Ooh, it doesn't help out too much. So we're just going to move 1, 2, 3 up in the same spot, and I'm going to attack your Canopy for 4.
Oh, very nice. So Canopy's going to go down to 2 hearts.
And let's go ahead and rest Saber Griff. That generates me 2 XP. I'm going to spend the 2 XP to put a Chatterbox on Chicken Head.
Oh, very nice. Okay, so Chatterbox is an item that you can release, and releasing means you can send it to discard, and you get to search your deck for a champion, companion, or pathfinder. So you essentially get to go find yourself a party member.
And I will do that right now. So I'm going to release it and search my deck for a crucial party member that I do not have yet, but I know I will need. A very powerful one. Let's go ahead and search out a Gordon Blue.
Very nice. Excellent choice.
Gordon's going to come to my hand. And since this Saber Griff has already done its work for me, I don't really want it anymore. I am just going to release it as well.
Very nice. Yeah, you are permitted to release any card under your control if you feel like you need to do that for your strategy. Releasing is just sending a card to discard. But sometimes there are effects associated with releasing.
I don't have the XP in order to play the Gordon I just got, so I'm going to get it. I am going to move my Amos here. He's got 5 moves, so I'm just going to jump on in there, I think. He's just going to move up right in with your Canopy here, and he is going to smash it into oblivion.
Yep, that sounds about right. So Canopy's toast, and you get a XP prize for that of 2 from the Canopy. I believe you get an extra one. Oh, no. Amos has Hunter, right?
Amos does have
Hunter. Amos has Hunter, so you get an extra one there.
I get 3. Let's see. Let's get this dice out of here. And I do have an extra AP, so I still have 1 action left. I think what I want to do is spend 2 to go ahead and level up Amos to max level 3. And that gives him Trained to the Bone. That's going to give him +1 heart, +1 power, and +1 move.
Yeah, so now Amos is stacked.
Yeah, he's going to be up to 6 move, but I am in a water sector, and I know you have a handful of cards, so it's a little scary going onto your side of the dungeon. But I'm a brave boy. I'm going to do it. So we're just going to move.
People, man.
We're going to do it. We're just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. And really, I'm just hoping you don't roll a 6. Let's go ahead and rest Amos. He's going to generate 2 for me. I'm going to spend 3 to go ahead and play that Gordon McGrath this turn.
Very nice.
And Gordon has 2 move and 2 AP. He's just going to go 1-2, 1-2. Right into Dino Mart. He's going to rest, generate me 3 XP. I will go ahead and spend the 3 to level up my Gordon to level 1. That gives him Chef's Kiss. It's an ability. It costs 1 action point. I can roll a d6, and I can heal a local for the amount of the d6.
Yeah, very nice.
Let's go ahead. I got Chicken Head left. Chicken Head is a monster in disguise. He's just going to start moving. So we're going to go 1-2, and my movement's reduced now that I'm in a water sector, so I'm just going to go 1, and then 1 again. Chicken Head will rest, generate me 3. And let's go ahead and level up Gordon a second time. His second level up ability is draw 2, discard 2, so I will do that.
Very nice. And that's going to cost 3 of those XP.
Thank you. Let's discard that guy. And, decisions. I already got 3 Bugadons. I guess I'm going to get rid of 1 more. Okay, that is all I can do for my party phase. Let's go on a Nomster phase. I'm very, very scared of your board. But I don't think you can take out... Oh, you can. You 100% can. So let's just go ahead and make it a little bit harder for you. We're going to go 1-2 right into the Lightning Jaw Chasm. With that one, let's rest him. And this one is going to go 1-2 as well. We'll rest that one. And these Bugadons are not digging. I want them to be in your way. I want to slow you down a little bit. You got to spend your time doing something with them.
All right, sounds good.
And this last Bugadon is just going to... Actually, this last Bugadon I am going to release to free up a dungeon point.
Okay, nice.
And that gets rid of that guy. And I'm going to play my team captain, my dinosaur of the day, Cactarnosaur.
Very nice.
Cactarnosaur is going to sit behind my wall of Bugadons.
Cactarnosaur is freaking huge, guys. Cactarnosaur has 10 hearts and tough skin, which means all damage to Cactarnosaur is reduced by 1. And also has an effect that just says basically nobody can pass him at all. So you gotta fight the guy. Normally you can attack a Nomster and run past if you want. You're forced to engage the Nomster, but you can pass them. Cactarnosaur cannot be passed. Ain't playing no games.
He is a wall. I don't want to move my Cactarnosaur. I'm going to leave him right where he is, and he's going to rest, and I will pass turn to you.
Okay, sounds good. So this is a learn to play tutorial, guys, and I would like for us to wrap up this video relatively soon. We are deep in a game right now, but I wanted you to see how the game operates. So I'm going to have Noah and I each play through another 2 turns. And once we finish up those 2 turns, we're going to call it a game. But I just wanted you to see how these mechanics operate. And just a reminder that our goal right now is that we're each trying to get to the opposing boss and KO that boss, or KO the entire opposing party. So I already grabbed my draw for the turn. I'm going to wake everybody up, and let's continue here. Ralph is going to kick us off. Oh, that's scary. You've got a guy in the chasm, huh? You do. You have a Bugadon in there.
Yep, all part of the police.
Zoe's going to kick us off. Zoe's going to attack and drop a bomb on that Bugadon and take him out.
That Bugadon is gone.
And we'll get an XP for that. And then Zoe is going to move with another AP, 1, 2, 3, up into the chasm. And she's going to drop another bomb with her last AP into the dark and deep and blow up that last Bugadon there.
Bugadon is dead.
All right. And then Zoe's going to rest, and that gives me 3 XP. We're at max with that. Let's level up Zoe once and Vincent once. So Zoe's going to go to level 2, which is going to give us new discovery, which lets me look at my top 3 cards and place up to 1 item into my hand, the rest back on top of the deck. And Vincent is going to let me draw another 1 card. So I'm going to grab that draw. And by the way, Zoe's new discovery is an ability, It's actually something I can activate repeatedly, but it does cost an AP. So while Zoe's resting, I'm unable to activate that ability. So I grab my draw from Vincent, and let's get Ralph moving here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. That's going to bring a Cactarnosaur on our heads, but
That's okay.
that's okay. Drop Ralph there and rest him. I'll get 2 XP. And then Vincent is going to also get moving here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And Vincent's going to rest, get some XP. And we'll get Ralph and Vincent up to their level 3. Which Vincent's level 3 unlocks evasive maneuvers, which is going to let him have a 50-50 chance at canceling an attack that's declared against him. I roll a dice. If it's evens, I cancel the attack. If odds, the attack is going to go through. And then Ralph is going to unlock If There's a Will, which is similar to Chef's Kiss. It's a roll a d6 healing ability, but it's only on the self. Ralph can't target any locals with that, just himself. All right, so those guys are chilling. I think that's my whole party phase. I'm going to close that out, head over to my Nomster phase where I have nothing to bring to the board. So you have a clear shot at the boss, my friend.
That is
Go
scary.
for it. Pass turn.
All right, let's draw for turn. You said 2 turns. I think I may have a way to maybe just get there.
Hey, if you can get there, yeah, I'll even go a 3rd turn if you can get there. But if we're deep in the game here and things are topsy-turvy, because many times there's some turns of the table in NomNom Verse. The goal of this video is really just to teach you guys how to play, not necessarily to play for, an hour and a half in front of you.
Very fair. I'm just going to start off with Gordon. He's way in the back. He needs to get up front, so I'm going to do that. He's going to go 1, 2, and another 1, 2. And he's going to rest and generate me 3 XP.
Nice.
The downside of Amos is he only has 1 utility, and I wish I could put more on him, but I can only do 1 thing. So that means my other Dino Blood has to go on Chicken Head.
Oh, very nice. So that's going to buff him by quite a bit.
And we're just going to straight up run. We're going for the boss, baby.
Yeah, I think you might be able to finish this.
Chicken Head has 4 move, but he is in that water sector, which is hampering me for a moment. Let's go ahead. He's got 2 move with the -2, so he's going to go 1, 2, and a Lightning Jolt has him. But he does have that 3 AP, so I still have 2 actions left and my full 4 moves. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 1, 2, 3, 4, right into your Rainmaster's canopy. Not quite into your boss sector, but right on the door.
Real close. Very nice.
Chicken Head will rest and generate 3. I don't need to level anybody up just yet, but I do have just a way to set up a win next turn. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to play a fried bubble crab that is a food, and I'm going to put it onto Chicken Head. The food actually has a release effect, much like the Chatterbox, but instead of searching my deck for a champion, it's going to full heal whatever it's on, and then it's going to give whatever it's on +1 move and +2 power until my next rest.
Oh, yeah. I see an end game in sight. I don't think we're ending this game early.
We might not have to end it early. Let's go ahead and see what we can do here. Amos has 3 AP. He's trained to the bone, and he has a Dino Blood attached. So he has 6 move. So he is going to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. You know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking we're just going to go for it.
Nice.
Yeah, we're just going to go for it. We're going to get in there. We're just going to get right up on him here. Yeah, I like your boss. Amos has a fancy little tickle he wants to itch. So we're going to go ahead and attack with Amos with his last AP. And I am hitting for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but I also get a roll for focus.
Oh, yeah, you do get to roll for focus. So if he rolls a 6, Amos is going to deal double damage right now. Could almost kill my boss.
We will roll the dice.
Okay.
So
all right, nice.
Okay,
So my
just
boss is at
16.
10 hearts.
And that is all I can do with Amos, so I will rest him and generate 2. And let's see, I can't do anything else, so I will just go ahead and move on to my Nomster phase. In my Nomster phase, I am preparing for an attack right now because you are charging me. So we're just going to move back.
Yeah.
We are just going to hold the line. We're going to move back 1 because we're in a water sector, and I'm going to move back 1, 2, just into the edge of my Ringmaster's canopy. Rest my Cactarnosaur. And can I do anything else? I can. I will play 1 more Nomster. I will play the Voltaraptor.
Very
and
nice.
give you a little bit of a fight before you get to my Cactarnosaur. Let's go ahead. Actually, ooh, hard. It's a hard decision to make, but we're going to do it. We're just going to pop him there. And who do you got over here? You got a Ralph? Is that a Vincent with him? That is a Vincent with him. Okay. So we're going to move up 1 to be right in the same space. And since you're in the dark and deep, your Ralph, his quick reflexes is actually disabled, and your Vincent, his evasive maneuvers is actually disabled.
That is true.
So I think what I want to do here is just take advantage of the fact that you're kind of stuck. We'll go ahead and hit your Ralph while he's vulnerable, and you can't attack back and kill me. But
Yep.
I am only attacking for 3. My boss permanently buffs all my other dinos for +1 power. So my natural Voltaraptor 2 power is buffed by 1, and I will hit for 3.
All right. Ralph's taking it.
And I'm resting and passing turn.
All right. I'm going to draw for turn. And oh man, you are right at my boss. This is not going to be my game. I needed to draw a Nomster. And since I'm going to pay for it here in a second, I'll just show you I drew an item. So this is definitely, you're going to cook my boss next turn. But he can put up a fight. So we'll start with the party phase as usual, as always. And my DP is actually clear right now. So Zoe, I need you to bomb out and clear the Voltaraptors out of dark and deep here. So Zoe is going to long range in for 6 damage on that Voltaraptor.
Voltaraptor dies, and you get an XP.
Grab some XP. Oh, and I get an extra one. And then let's use that to level. Well, actually, I'm going to pay 3, and I'm going to equip a saw blade onto Ralph here in addition to his arm. So now both his utility slots are filled, and Ralph has an additional +2 power. So Ralph's cooking pretty strong right now, and let's get him up there. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I guess I have to do this in segments because of the dark and deep's effect. So we'll go
that's
1,
actually your
2.
Zoe.
Oh, yeah, right. Thank you. So Ralph's going to go 1, and then he'll go 1, 2, 3, and we'll place him right there. And then with his last AP, he's going to swing into Cactarnosaur for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Cactarnosaur does have tough skin, so he's only going to take 4, and Ralph's going to take 1 because of that toxic genetic as well. Oops. All right. Valiant fight, Ralph. Ralph's got a rest, and I'll use that 3 to get Zoe up to level 3. She'll unlock her volley from above. So now Zoe's attacks have AoE damage onto all enemies in the sector. Now we're going to move on to the boss because I have no Nomster, so he's my last line of defense. Big Daddy Battleship is quite a powerful boss to have, though. He can swing for 5 damage, and he has 2 AP, and his first attack each turn gets +2 additional power. That's called Demolishing Strike there in his effect box. So we're going to swing on Amos here for 7 damage, and then 5 more. We're going to deal 12 damage to Amos.
So I do believe that kills me. I got
he's
7, 9, 10, 11. Yep.
11, yeah.
Yep. So you just take me out.
Well, that felt good. Big Daddy Battleship breathes a sigh of relief, and then he has to rest. And I will pass turn, and you can take your valiant win, man.
I will draw for turn and wake my side of the board. Chickenhead is going to munch down on that fried bubble crab. Yum, yum,
Very nice.
yum. Buff himself up a little bit. He now has +2 power and +1 move. He is right next to the boss, so I will use that extra move to scooch right on in there. And now I'm hitting for 4, 5. So I believe I have just enough. I will attack twice for... Oh, wait. Oh, you don't have tough skin. I will attack you for 10.
Yep, you just nailed it. Nice, man. Good game.
GG's.
Good game. GG's. So, guys, that was a game of NomNom Verse, and that's a pretty average time length, even with well, actually, that's a little longer because we had all the explanations. Usually, games of NomNom Verse are about 30 minutes to an hour. So, in competitive play, things will be like a best of one. It's really fun. I love this game. Have so much fun playing it. I know the playtesters all do too, and everybody who's tried it has really enjoyed it. So. Just wanted to thank you guys for hanging out. Noah, thanks for playing with me. Tessa, thanks for filming.
No problem.
Thank you.
Good
And
game.
we're going to wrap up here. I hope you guys enjoyed this. And thank you so much for taking a look here at NomNom Verse. Come find us on Discord and come find us on Instagram at World of NomNom. All right, everybody. We'll see you later.